Hi there. Today I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how to use the Workload.co editor tool on top of the Clio law firm practice management software. Clio is a tool that law firm companies use to sort of digitize their practice and have kind of more of a CRM, an all-in-one solution to manage their practice. And Workload is an automation tool that helps people build workflows. So, Clio has a great back-end system. Their API allows you to do a lot of different cool things. But if you're not a developer, you probably want to use a tool like Workload, so you can just kind of drag and drop things on a canvas and sort of build a automated workflow without having to code or hire a developer. So once you sign up for Workload, you'll be taken to a screen similar to this. You'll see the dashboard here. You'll see the workflows, which will list out all of your automated workflows. Connections will show all the different apps that you're connected to through Workload. So you'll have Clio in there, ideally. Maybe you have Gmail or Slack or Stripe. All those connections will be in there and you'll be able to manage it. Executions. Shows the list of executions that you've run. So each workflow run will have a log. It's basically an output log tab. And then there's a bunch of settings. The most important functionality of this dashboard is the Create New button, or the New button right here from the Workflows page. So we'll click on Create New, and you'll see that we're taken now to the Workflow Editor. And you just click on these little nodes here, and it'll take you to set up your trigger. So we'll start with just setting up a Clio trigger, and this is the authentication part. So if you've never authenticated with Clio before, you'll click on the Add New button, and it'll basically make you sign in with Clio, and then it'll authorize Workload to act on your behalf. So for the sake of simplicity, our trigger is just going to fire off anytime that any activity is updated. So we'll hit next, we're going to save this trigger, and now we're going to test the trigger. So what I'm doing next is I'm just going into Clio, and I'm going to modify one of my random activities that I've created already. So I just want this thing to fire off whenever any of my activities has been modified. So I'm saving my activity now in Clio, and we should see this update. There it goes. Okay. So this is my activity that just got updated. So this is kind of my sample data that I'm working with. And you can see here's everything that basically is contained within that. It shows my, my matter information, the user who did that activity, and then some metadata about the activity itself, the rate, the quantity, etc. So I'm going to save and close that. And I'm going to go now add a new step in my workflow, and I'm going to connect these steps. I'm going to click into the node, and I'm going to go back to Clio. I'm going to hit next, authenticate, use the same credential that I used before. You can have multiple Clio accounts if you're a consultant, let's say, and you work with a bunch of different law firms and you want to send data from one Clio account to another Clio account. You can absolutely have a different authenticated account there and send it from one place to another. That absolutely is possible, but just for the sake of this demo, we're just doing it the easy way here. So just using one single account. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to return the data for a single matter. So I'm just going to look up the matter that was from that previous step. So here's the matter ID. So I'm going to click on that and then hit save. Test the action and see what gets returned. So we see there was a successful request that was sent to Clio, and here's the matter display name for the activity that was created. Now for the third step, we'll just make this the third and final step. Let's do something like let's create a communication about this matter, about this client. So let's go to communication. So now we can filter our list, and we're going to create a new communication. So we'll hit next, and then the body of our communication, we want that to show that, the note from the thing, and then let's do some kind of separation, and then we'll add in the display number of that matter, and then the date of the matter, the date of that activity when it was created. We want that to also be in the communication. The matter ID, we want to grab that as well. Throw that in there. And then the subject. Let's see, let's pick a good subject here. I think the description name is a good subject. And then data type. This is from the Clio API docs, but they have a specific type that you have to add into this. So it's email communication. So hit save and continue, test the action, and there we go. We can see we got a successful response back, and that this is our communication ID. So I'm going to save and close that. And then the final thing you have to do is activate it and give this thing a name too. And then now your workflow is activated, and you should see it in here. It hasn't populated yet, but at least you can see that there is the untitled workflow. Upon refresh, this thing should update. So that is how you build workflows and automate them in Clio. It's very simple. Thank you.